What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Daily Misfire, and welcome to the first official in the office update video. So normally I do these out in the shop and kind of walk you around and do everything. But this time, there's so much stuff going on out in the shop. I'm going to kind of walk you through everything in the office. Plus, it's getting colder, and I want to try to use an excuse for the new background and some of the new stuff I'm trying to do in here. So, we're working on three big things right now in the shop. One of them being my 1967 Nova wagon. The other one being the engine for my other Nova, my 1967 Nova that we've seen on this channel forever. We're trying to figure out an engine on that because the 350 that was in it before has decided it needs a lot of machine work and it needs a lot of stuff, and the crank on it is junk. So we pulled the crank out of it and everything to look at everything, and turns out the engine, or the combination that I thought was not turned, nothing, it was all, stock. It's actually been turned 10 thousandths already. So it kind of looks like we're probably going to have to turn, it would have to be turned at least 20 thousandths, but it probably wouldn't even clean up then. So we're kind of in that limbo phase of like, it probably needs a crank. The cylinders, bores are all out of line. They're not, they're belled pretty much at this point. They're not straight. So at this point, the engine itself probably needs to be bored 30 over, and we need a crank. So at that point, you're like, do you go 383? Because pretty much all the stuff we already have for it is all, getting a rotating assembly is the same price as a 355 as a 383. So it's like, that just makes sense. But it's also $2,000 to put that engine together. So with that, we've decided to go kind of outside the box, and we have a 307 small block Chevy that has HO 305 heads, which that engine has a lot of history behind it. And long story short, it did run 1380s with those heads and I think it was a 280 comp cam with 305 HOs and a Torker and Edelbrock and a 72 Nova. So it ran pretty good back in the day, and it was in my car 10 years ago this year. So and it ran like 15s. The car wasn't set up to drag race at that point yet. So we're talking about getting that engine back in my car. I bought a roller cam for it, so we have a cheap Summit LS swap firing order cam. So we're probably going to run that in the car with all the other parts I have for the valve train, and try to see if we can make it run 1350s, low 13s if we can. So that's one thought that we have right now. I'm also thinking about doing a complete other engine combination in the car, but I won't get into that until we have actual data on that one, or actual, we're working towards that. Because machine work and rotating assembly, no matter how I shake it, is going to be like $2,000 at least. So, but with that, that's where we're at for the 350 as far as that goes. As far as other stuff goes, the Nova wagon in the shop, we pulled the project car in the shop officially. The last video that you officially saw was us working on the parts car and pulling the 283 and the power glide out of it. So that basically it stayed in the shop because we ended up pulling that outside, and because it doesn't have a hood on it, I didn't want rain and water getting into the engine as much as it would already. So the numbers 283 and the power glide are out of it now. They're sitting in the shop as we speak. And then we pulled the project car wagon in, and as you can see in video and stuff, the floor looks really good. I got the seat bottoms out of it. The floor in the car looks really good. It just needs the floor pans in the front, which I have those. I have AMD whole floor pans for the car. I bought entire floor pans for it just in case we need them, which doesn't look like we actually do. It looks like we just need the fronts. So we'll probably be able to cut the fit, whatever we need, and kind of patch in that. And then we also have the A-pillars that we bought the A-pillars for it, so we need to get those. We got to get the front windshield out of it. We got to get the doors off. We got to do some stuff for the front end and try to get all that stuff together before we start working on structural stuff on the front end, which I haven't shown any of that yet. And then I'm also working on the back window crank and getting the back window to work the way it needs to. We're probably going to take the tailgate off the car and fix some of the rust on it. Pretty much the big rust pieces that we need to fix are the floor, the A-pillars, quarter panel. We need to fix some rockers, and there's some rust that's in one of the, it's like the corner of the door, and the wheel well on the passenger side. We got to fix that because it's really rough. But I'm hoping by the end of this winter we can have most of the metal work done on the car. And then I know everyone's going to hate me for it, but I'm probably going to short strand fiberglass or skim the entire coat of the entire car, and we're probably going to paint it some offshoot white, primer plus white of some sort. And that is purely to keep the car together and keep it solid. I would love nothing else than to have that thing nasty, patina, rusty looking. But the unfortunate part is, as you can see in some of this video, the roof on it has so much pitting, and it's so, I mean, it's already getting chewed up. I don't want it to get any worse because it's been sitting outside for a majority of its life. I don't want it getting any worse, so we're probably going to have to skim coat and seal that up somehow. And that's the only way I know how to do it. So if you have a way of sealing it that's not like clear coat, because clear coat doesn't actually seal anything, it just like keeps it wherever it is and the rust will keep eating. So if you have any kind of way of getting rid of that or like trying to aid that, let me know. But my plan right now is probably to, wire wheel, get everything cleaned up as much as I can on the roof, sand it down, and then we'll do some body, some of the high build primer on it, and then we'll probably shoot it white of some sort, some flat white, race car white back in the day kind of stuff. So that's kind of the goal right now for the wagon. I was hoping this video would be kind of delayed and I'd be able to do a dually video because I want to try to do a couple fuel mileage videos for the dually. One of them being, what kind of mileage does the truck get now that we have a FiTech system on it and an overdrive, because when we had a carburetor and turbo 400, it got like 8 miles a gallon. It would get like 8 to 10 is kind of where it would sit. And then we put the fuel injection on it, and we went from that 8 to 10 towing, not towing, to close to 11 towing, and it would get, around 11, wherever we were going. It didn't really matter. It would just get like 10.5 to 11 miles a gallon. So it picked up a lot there. And now that we're running with the overdrive, I mean, it's dropped, 800 RPM when we're cruising on the freeway, and we can go 10 miles an hour faster. So I want to try to play and do like a 60-mile road trip with that and try to see where we're at as far as mileage goes. So hopefully we'll have that video up, and hopefully in conjunction with that, I'll be able to give you guys a DJM suspension review on the truck as well, because I want to try to get that truck as good as I can get it, and then we can start doing interior work and try to get AC and try to make the thing super, super nice and comfortable to ride in. Because right now the suspension, everything's solid. The engine combination's solid in it. I want to try to do some stuff to the engine. I want to put headers. I want to try to do some stuff to give it a little bit more torque and power. But as far as that stuff goes, it's solid. I don't really need to mess with it. So hopefully we'll have dually video stuff coming up. We'll have wagon stuff coming up very soon. I pulled a bunch of stuff out of the wagon last night, so hopefully you'll see some of that. I'm hoping next week you'll see big progression on the wagon. The issue with that is just it's going to take so much time, and for me, only be able to put 5-6 hours at a time in a week in on the car, it's going to take a while to try to get there. So you might not see a huge progression as far as that goes. But we got quite a bit of work done on it. So hopefully we'll have that pretty soon. We'll have the 307 should be together hopefully by the end of this month is my goal. We'll try to get it together and assembled and sitting there so that we can kind of walk over that. I also want to pull the 283 apart that we had in that wagon. I want to pull that apart and we can see, because it's locked up. So I want to see if we can make that thing rotate and see if it would actually run, because it'd be kind of cool to have that engine runnable. That would be kind of my goal, which would be cool. Because if you look on the inside of it, it's actually really clean. So it might look like a complete rusty pile of junk on the outside, but the inside of it actually seems pretty clean and sealed up, which I don't know if that's because it doesn't have any real breathers or any kind of like air, because it's one of the older school motors, so it really only has the oil baffle on the front of it. I wonder if that kept it sealed up for as long as it was, but you never know. But we got that guy. So we have that 283, my 307, the wagon, the dually, and then I also bought long tube headers for my wife's 67 Camaro because we were having clearance issues anywhere we were driving, because it would just happen. Because if you don't know those cars, what happens is we have mid-length headers on it right now, and the mid-lengths come down and then they have to come back up and in to where the X brace is for the convertible. And the way and we don't have a tubing bender, so when we originally did the exhaust, it has this big, huge yup in it. And right there is where it hits a lot. We have a lot of clearance issues right there. So we're hoping that with long tubes, it should make it towards a straight shot up and in. So we're going to have to redesign some of the exhaust. So we're going to do that to the Camaro hopefully this winter. You'll get to hear the new exhaust system that we have. We also have over the rear end pieces for it. So hopefully we'll get that stuff installed in the car. So where it sounds better, it gets quieter hopefully in the cab, but it sounds better overall with the long tubes and the over the rear end part. I'm hoping all that works out the way we want it to. But yeah, there's a lot of projects going on right now, and they're all kind of like in that limbo middle of the road phase right now. So that's why I'm doing an update video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll get to do more in-office stuff. We'll talk about some cool history, racing stuff. We'll talk about, bracket race maybe down the road, and who knows what. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys appreciate kind of an update video for this weekend. I'm sorry there's not more. But stay with us, subscribe, keep following along, and hopefully we'll have more for you very soon because I have a GoPro at the ready at all times. So with that being said, have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.